Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Juan's World, where I'm going to be continuing the Christmas Chameleon Cook. And today I'm going to talk about Christmas ice cream. Now, normally I don't make ice cream at Christmas. I did sometimes, but I haven't made it for a long time. But now I live in Cambodia and I live in the tropics, and so ice cream seems like a good addition to a Christmas dinner. When I was growing up, I lived in South Australia, and in more recent years, I've lived in Argentina, where I was born. Now, both are in the southern hemisphere, and so, of course, Christmas is smack in the middle of summer. And that creates a problem if your family is English, as mine was, or at least my mother was. My father was from Scotland. So my mother insisted Christmas Day we have to have a big roast. We have all roast trimmings, a boiled pudding, everything making the kitchen just fiery hot. But we're English, and so we have to do English things. Now, in the northern hemisphere, of course, that's just fine. You want a big, hot kitchen smelling of spices and boiling puddings and all of that. It's fine. But in the tropics, where I am now, or in the southern hemisphere, where it's even hotter, you don't want that. You want something else. And one of the things that Australians have invented are versions of Christmas ice cream. So let's get into that. So Christmas ice cream has all kinds of possibilities. When I lived in Buenos Aires, my friends would frequently have a big meal around 11 o'clock in the night on Christmas Eve, which would go on until 3, 4, 5 in the morning on Christmas Day. And they had a parrilla, which is the Argentine version of roast over hot coals. But they would do that in the afternoon outside, where it would heat up outside, wouldn't heat up the kitchen. And then after it was cooked, they would put it in the refrigerator, and they would have that cold on Christmas Eve. Usually pork. Argentinians normally roast beef on the parrilla, but on Christmas Eve they usually have pork, and they serve it cold. And then they have ice cream, and they can have it in bucket loads of different flavors. So that's just, one example, is just to have any combination of ice creams that you like. But the Australians are much more particular, sometimes anyway, and this version here is a bomb of vanilla ice cream that is filled with crystallized fruit and then has chocolate poured over it until it solidifies, and making a beautiful dessert. That's one possibility. The second possibility, which is a particular favorite in some parts of Australia, is to mix ice cream with classic mincemeat. So instead of having a mince pie, you have mincemeat ice cream. And to do that, very simple, you take a vanilla ice cream and you take your mincemeat and you then mix them together and keep them in the freezer, and voila, mincemeat ice cream. And now we've got the third possibility, which is my invention, a Christmas bomb made of 3 different kinds of ice creams of different colors. And I'll show you how to make it. You have to start off with a bomb dish, which is just basically a metal hemisphere. And what I do is I layer in something like plastic wrap to make it easy to get out. And then I put crystallized fruits in the bottom, and then a layer of a green ice cream, could be something like pistachio, and then a layer of mincemeat ice cream, and then a layer of a pink or a red ice cream, in this case strawberry. So you layer together green, then white, or white plus mincemeat, and red, let it all freeze, and then turn it out. The way that I used to do it, way long time ago, was I used to make my own ice cream. And so to make the mincemeat ice cream, I used to just simply put it in the ice cream freezer when I was making the ice cream. But I don't have an ice cream freezer now, so I have to fold the fruits or the mincemeat into commercial ice cream, and that means leaving the ice cream out to melt a little bit, and then folding the ingredients in, packing them down, and refreezing them. And so here's my final result, still wrapped up, I'm afraid, because I'm not ready to serve it yet. I'm going to keep it until Christmas Day. But that's the basic idea. So all very, very simple today, but should be a delicious addition if you're living in a hot climate, or a maybe strange but a different tradition if you live in a colder climate. Either way, I hope you enjoy this, and if you do, then like and subscribe, and I'll see you on Friday for a continuation of my Christmas theme, talking this week about the Nativity and the historical problems with that account.